So here's what happened. On Friday I tried making a vlog, like a thing of like what am I doing in my day, and once again I just got to about 4 o'clock in the evening and just stopped filming. I went to like rugby training and came back and went, nah, I'm just not going to film anymore. So we had yet another incomplete video. So what are we going to do? Because I still want a video out. And here's this other story that's running alongside this phenomenon of my inability to film videos. Last night I, on a whim, just ordered a Domino's. In case you didn't know, because I mention it all of the time, I am a celiac, so I can't eat gluten. And I know Domino's does have gluten-free options, but why would you bother? This morning was kind of messy, and then I got the idea, why don't I tell YouTube about all the times I've shit myself this year? So it all started, it was the 28th of March, 2021. I had just released the video, Chaotic Bisexual Energy, which, as a matter of fact, is my most viewed video, 110 boy. And in that video, I mentioned how I had a little accident where I got a moon cup stuck up there because I bought a cheap one. And I don't know if I mentioned it because I can't be asked rewatching it, but they put me on antibiotics. So I went home. I started taking the antibiotics just to make sure it was a 5-day treatment. And I think I filmed that video on day, I think it was half a day or day 2, something like that. Well, I told this on VP before. VP is another story, don't even worry about it. While I was editing that video, I shit myself. I won't go into too much details, but I was just sitting down editing a bit of footage and just went to fart. And I shit myself. Now, luckily, back in the old accommodation, it was en suite, so I literally just had to run from my editing desk, which is like, say here, to my toilet, which is like 5 meters that way. So I just like ran to the toilet, just got in the shower, and actually in the video you can see this bit where I just got out of the shower. That was the moment. So naturally, every time my stomach even went, whoop, for the next 5 days, I would like sprint to the toilet. I don't think I actually left the house for longer than like 10 minutes to go and get my mail from across the road. Unfortunately, the side effects of those antibiotics did not disappear with day 5, and it was literally not even a week after that video that we moved house. We had a really, really busy day. We had to like we only had one tiny car, and it wasn't even ours, so we had to borrow it. But like someone drove it for us, whatever, it doesn't matter. Why am I getting caught up on details? So we walk across. One of us would go in the car, and 2 of us would like carry bags across town. So it was a really strenuous day, really exhausting. And I got in and I set up my laptop and I shit myself again. This was also during the VP era. Again, I'll explain later, but basically I think about 10 minutes before VP, I shit myself again. And I hadn't even tried out the shower, so I was just forced in there. But our downstairs shower, which I used that day, I don't think I've used it since, is very short. So like standing up, the shower comes up to about here, and I'm like 5'4". It's very short. So I kind of just ended up like sitting down in the bath, because it's like a bath shower, and just putting my head in my hands like, I can't believe this has happened again. Twice in the space of a month. And then a few days, like I think the next day I called the doctor being like, this needs to stop. And luckily it cleared up. Now there's a third time this year. It's this is another gluten story. I'd eaten a lot of gluten, and the best thing I can do in that situation to make sure it's as limitless, like painless as possible, is to drink detox teas, which do not do. Well, some of them are okay, some of them just like clean your liver and shit. These are like industrial strength detox teas. I would not recommend them. I drank one. We were all about to go to bed, and so we have 3 bathrooms. One of them at this point didn't have toilet paper in it because no one is using it. At the exact moment my stomach went, huh! 2 of the toilets were full. They were occupied. I don't know what I was thinking. I just went out on the roof. I was kind of looking out, just trying to like focus on not shitting myself, and naturally I shat myself. This one I can't even justify. It was just poor planning. It was poor planning. The other 2 antibiotics had like Once again, I just got my towel, went up to the upstairs toilet. I was like, Izzy, you need to get out now. And thank God she did. Yeah, so that's 3 times this year. I don't know the date stamp for the third one. I've got no reference, whereas the first two I've literally got footage. So you may be wondering, why did I decide to make this video? Well, a month ago, I tweet some weird shit, right? But about a month ago, I tweeted, the one thing people don't tell you about turning 21 is the increase in the amount of times you shit yourself. Now, some people had qualms with this because they were like, what? So yeah, I made a graph just for us all to understand. It's September now. It's been at least, I want to say, 4 or 5 months since this has happened. So we're on track. I guess I'm saying this because there's a lot going on in my life now that I'm just not capable of dealing with. There's a lot going on, and I just thought, you know what? At least you're not shitting yourself anymore. That is the moral of this story. And if that ain't success, I don't know what is. Now, thank you very much. Have a nice afternoon. I am now going to edit this. Have fun. Voila. Much love.